Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a really fascinating plunge into a digital landscape. It's buzzing with some pretty unique energy. We've gathered, a stack of research articles, expert takes, and our mission, like always, is to pull out the most crucial nuggets of knowledge for you. Our focus today, it's sharp, but really illuminating. Instagram usage in Bangkok, Thailand right now in early 2025. We're going to try and uncover not just who is scrolling and liking and sharing in this amazing city, but how they're using Instagram. And, what does all that tell us about digital life, about trends in one of Southeast Asia's most dynamic capitals?
And that specific, that regional understanding, it's genuinely invaluable, isn't it? Because when you dive deep into these localized digital habits, you often spot patterns, shifts that aren't just about Bangkok. They echo further out. They help us grasp the bigger online trends globally. It's really seeing the micro to understand the macro.
Okay, right. Let's try and unpack this. Picture it. You're navigating Bangkok, that vibrant, sometimes, wonderfully chaotic energy. Street food, gleaming skyscrapers. How does Instagram fit into daily life there? Let's start with who? Who's behind those screens?
Well, our sources show that Thailand overall has about 18.5 million Instagram users, which is quite a chunk, right? Roughly 25.8% of the whole population is on the platform. But it's when you zoom in on the demographics, that's where the specific story of Bangkok's Instagram user really starts to emerge, the biggest age group. It's clearly the 25 to 34-year-olds. That's around 7.9 million users.
Yeah, and that's significant.
It is. It's not just a number. It points strongly to Instagram appealing to young working professionals, recent grads, students, people setting up their careers, their lifestyles. And here's something else that's really interesting. A significant female skew. About 60.6% of users in Thailand are female.
Compared to 39% male.
Exactly. And what's truly fascinating there is how those numbers immediately sort of sketch out Instagram's core appeal in the region. It's not just younger people. It's specifically resonating, and powerfully so, with young urban women, often at that key life stage, career, education, curating their personal brand, their lifestyle,
Right.
So if you connect that to the broader social picture, this female dominance, it's maybe more than just a demographic fact. It suggests Instagram might be, a kind of powerful engine here for female empowerment, maybe, entrepreneurial ventures, community building, in a way we don't always see as strongly where the gender split is more even.
Interesting angle.
Yeah, think about the content, the success of female influencers there, the shopping trends. It's all profoundly shaped by this female majority.
So we're looking at a group that's not just active online, but they're potentially shaping, real cultural and economic currents in the city. What else defines them?
Exactly. This audience is overwhelmingly mobile first and deeply digitally savvy. You've got over 91% literacy for Thais aged 15 plus, internet penetration around 88% nationally.
That's a strong base.
It is a broad base of educated users who aren't just comfortable, they're adept at navigating complex digital spaces. And while getting precise Bangkok-only stats can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah.
We know Thailand's highly urbanized 54.7% urban population. And Bangkok, being the capital, it concentrates a huge share of these young professionals and students. They're a key Instagram segment. And their digital skill means they adopt new features fast, they're discerning about content quality, they expect high engagement.
Like deep digital comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely translates into expectations. You mentioned they might lean towards creative or tech fields.
Absolutely. Many users either work in or they really aspire to creative fields, tech, entrepreneurial roles, which reflects Instagram's power, not just reflecting those lifestyles, but actually kind of shaping and driving them.
But it's more than just leisure.
Oh, definitely. For them, Instagram can be a portfolio, a network, a source of inspiration for those career paths. And you've also got Bangkok's high English proficiency, its large expat community. It's a global hub, after all.
Right.
So both Thai and English content don't just coexist, they thrive. They really cater to this wonderfully diverse audience within the city.
Which means for content creators.
Yeah, it means you probably need to think about a bilingual or even multilingual approach to truly connect there.
Okay, so what does this boil down to for you listening? Maybe you're a business trying to connect, or a traveler, or just someone curious about these global digital shifts. It sounds like it's not just a demographic group, it's almost like a cultural force. Vibrant, engaged, and pretty specific in how they behave online.
Precisely, and this really brings up an important question, doesn't it? What kind of content truly grabs this group, given their interests, their digital skill, their aspirations, and just the unique rhythm of Bangkok life? And that takes us beyond just who they are.
To how they actually use the platform.
Yeah.
Day in, day out.
Yeah.
Okay, Let's make that transition then. From who to how.
Yeah.
We're diving now into the actual daily behavior, the digital rhythm. And this is where, yeah, it gets really interesting peeling back those layers. How are Bangkokians interacting with Instagram every day?
Yeah.
Our sources suggest a majority check Instagram at least once a day.
At least once.
Yeah, and a significant chunk, about 38%, log in multiple times daily. That's remarkably consistent engagement.
It really is.
And when you look at time spent, it paints a fascinating picture. Thai social media users average about 2 hours, 35 minutes daily across all platforms.
Okay.
But Instagram itself, it commands about 8 hours and 44 minutes per user per month.
Right, so it's not necessarily about super long sessions.
No, exactly. It's often these short bursts of use. Imagine trying to catch up on your feed while you're crammed onto the SkyTrain.
Bangkok's elevator train, yeah.
Or during a quick coffee break in some bustling cafe. Or maybe even stuck in that infamous Bangkok traffic. These short, frequent check-ins aren't just like a preference. They feel like a necessity, dictated by the pace of city life there.
And that pattern, frequent bite-sized engagement, that's absolutely key. It means if you're creating content, you're not just fighting for attention, you're fighting for fragmented attention.
Right. Snackable content.
Ultra snackable, yeah. High-impact stuff that gets the message across quickly, memorably. Instagram becomes less of a destination, more like a constant companion, woven into that fast-paced urban rhythm. A vital digital heartbeat for many.
Okay.
So let's break down some key behaviors, starting with how different formats get used. There's a really clear, interesting split in how Bangkok users treat stories versus the main feed and the Explore tab.
Okay, so what's the difference there? What does it tell us?
Well, stories. They're hugely popular for sharing those real-time sort of fleeting daily moments. Bangkokians post about, a spontaneous cafe visit, getting stuck in a traffic jam again.
Always the traffic.
Right. Or a quick glimpse of a local event happening right now, maybe just their current mood. It feels raw, immediate, intimate.
Ephemeral.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like a trendy Bangkok cafe or a co-working space. They might post daily story updates, flash promos, behind-the-scenes glimpses, maybe a quick poll. They know followers check in for those immediate, in-the-moment updates that vanish quickly. It taps into that FOMO, that desire for instant connection.
Okay, so stories are about the now. What about the feed and explore?
In contrast, yeah, the main feed and the Explore tab, they tend to serve up more curated content, more aspirational, maybe more evergreen stuff. This is where users discover, say, trendy new restaurants, often with those beautifully plated food shots.
Yes, the food pics.
Always. Or they take virtual tours of cool, very aesthetic co-working spaces, or get longer tips from influencers on fashion, travel, career advice. The feed is kind of where you see the best life being presented.
While stories capture the real life.
Pretty much, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That division, real-time versus aspirational.
Yeah.
It really highlights the dual role Instagram plays there. Does that create unique challenges or maybe opportunities for local businesses trying to use both?
Oh, absolutely. Businesses really need to master both sides of that coin. Stories are for building that daily connection, driving immediate action like a swipe up to buy on a limited offer.
Right.
The feed, though, that's more for brand building, showing quality, inspiring longer-term desire or engagement. It needs a more polished feel, generally.
Got it.
And speaking of dynamic content, we cannot overstate the power of Reels. Short video adoption in Bangkok is huge. Instagram Reels took off rapidly there, and it directly mirrors the just colossal success of TikTok.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you have to remember, TikTok penetration in Thailand is massive, like 85.7%. So there's this huge existing appetite for short-form video.
So Reels just tapped right into that existing behavior.
Precisely. Globally, something like 90% of Instagram users engage with Reels regularly. In Thailand, that trend is, if anything, amplified. Reels now account for, an estimated 30% of all time spent on Instagram?
Wow, 30%.
Yeah, it indicates Bangkok's audience is scrolling through videos frequently, enthusiastically. People watch and create Reels constantly. Quick street food tours showing off that incredible food scene, or funny office skits showcasing fashion finds from local markets.
All sorts.
All sorts. And these videos are super shareable. Globally, something like 1 billion Reels get shared daily via DMs.
The billion via DMs.
Yeah.
That really highlights how videos become a primary language for connection, not just watching, right?
Totally.
Has the main call to action for creators shifted then, from comment below to share this?
In many ways, yeah, I think so. A share via DM feels more intimate. It's a personal recommendation, a direct nudge for conversation, especially between friends. It shows a strong personal connection to that piece of content,
Right.
which leads us nicely into interaction patterns and the booming thing that is social commerce in Bangkok. Friends there use Instagram DMs all the time, sharing funny reels, tagging each other in posts, coordinating meetups.
Yeah.
And yeah, Line is still the top messaging app in Thailand with all its features. It's dominant for broad communication.
Sure, line is huge there.
It is. But Instagram DMs are really key for that quick visual social planning and sharing content. And users often follow local businesses and DM them directly. Quick questions about products, services, bookings. It shows Instagram's role beyond just being social.
It's functional too.
Very functional. And engagement with actual content. It tends to be mostly likes, saves for later inspiration, and story replies. Not so many lengthy comments.
Which again reflects that on-the-go, short burst consumption. Quick reaction, move on, but save what you like.
Exactly. People want to react efficiently, but also bookmark the inspiring stuff.
Okay, efficient, impactful interaction. But you mentioned social commerce. How big a deal is that in Bangkok?
It's colossal, yeah. Social commerce is booming. Get this. A staggering 69% of Thai consumers shop on social media platforms.
69%.
Yeah. And here's where that female skew we talked about becomes super relevant again. Women, especially, use Instagram heavily for shopping inspiration. They're really influenced by the platform's vibrant, influencer-driven culture, fashion boutiques, handmade crafts, beauty, home decor. Instagram isn't just a discovery place. It's a marketplace where trust is built through, authentic content and direct chat with creators and small businesses.
So it's enabling business directly.
Absolutely. This isn't just a social platform anymore. For many, particularly with that entrepreneurial spirit you see among young Bangkokians, it's a vital economic artery.
That really does paint a vivid picture.
Yeah.
Dynamic, visual, highly interactive. It's not just passive scrolling. It's active participation, connection, rapid discovery, and this whole booming commerce ecosystem. It really is a full digital ecosystem woven right into the city's daily fabric.
Exactly. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it just highlights how Instagram has evolved way beyond being just a photo app. In Bangkok, it's multifaceted, it's integral to daily life, a key driver of social connection, and a significant engine for the economy and entrepreneurship. It's truly a vital artery in the city's digital heart. Reflects that unique Bangkok blend of tradition and, hyper-modernity.
Okay, so let's try and tie this all together for you, our listener. What are the biggest, most impactful takeaways from this deep dive into Bangkok's Instagram scene in 2025?
Well, first, we've learned the audience is primarily young, predominantly female, incredibly mobile first,
Yeah.
and deeply integrated into that urban pulse.
Yeah.
Using the platform not just for fun, but for inspiration, career, maybe even commerce.
And their usage. It's frequent, it's visually rich. They balance those short habitual check-ins all day with longer content sessions, especially during commutes or evenings. That's when captivating video and aspirational content really shine, right? And stories. Absolutely crucial for those immediate real-time personal updates and for engaging directly, authentically with local businesses.
While Reels clearly dominate short-form video, they're an engine for entertainment, discovery, and importantly, that incredibly frequent sharing between friends and followers.
And finally, maybe most crucially, Instagram serves as this vital hub for both deep personal connection through DMs, sharing content, and this booming social commerce scene.
Yeah.
That's empowering entrepreneurs and really driving shopping inspiration, especially among women.
Which brings us to a pretty important question looking forward. For brands, creators, policymakers, even just curious observers, how will these deep digital trends keep shaping things? Not just online behavior, but urban culture, consumer expectations, economic opportunities in Bangkok in the years ahead. And maybe, what can Bangkok's unique digital journey tell other global cities as they navigate this constantly shifting online world?
That's such a powerful thought to end on. It gives us so much to consider, really. That interplay technology, culture, commerce in a city like Bangkok. It offers this compelling window into our global digital future. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope you've gained some valuable insights today. As you go about your day, maybe scrolling your own feeds later, think about how these patterns from Bangkok might mirror or maybe differ from what you see around you, or how they might even inform your own digital choices, your strategies. The digital world keeps shifting, and looking at it through the lens of a city like Bangkok gives us this uniquely rich, maybe even prescient perspective. Thank you again for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep an eye on those fascinating digital trends.